كتاب أنزلناه إليك مبارك ليدبروا آياته وليتذكر أولو الألباب.
بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم لولا أنت ما اهتدينا ولا تصدقنا ولا صلينا، فأنزل يا ربي سكينة علينا وثبت الأقدام إذا لاقينا. اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. اللهم لا فهم لنا إلا ما فهمتنا إنك أنت الحكيم الخبير. Subhanallah, today we are talking about the Eighth Juz. Ramadan is flying, and after a couple of days, inshallah Azza wa Jal, we will be talking about 1/3 of the month are gone. May Allah Azza wa Jalla accept it from us. Allahumma taqabbal siyamana wa qiyamana wa ruku'ana wa sujudana. Allahumma ameen. May Allah Azza wa Jalla grant us the protection from the hellfire, us and our kids and our parents and all of our beloved ones. Allahumma ameen. Today, inshallah Azza wa Jalla, I will stop by an ayah in the end of Surah Al-An'am. Allah Azza wa Jalla revealed it, and this ayah is the slogan of our life. It is the constitution of our life. Allah Azza wa Jal said, قُلْ إِنَّ صَلَاتِي وَنُسُكِي وَمَحْيَايَ وَمَمَاتِي لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. My worship, my ibadah, my salah, my prayers, all what I submit of this worship, قُلْ إِنَّ صَلَاتِي وَنُسُكِي, and all of whatever I do as a nusuk, the ibadah, the worship, which is the main purpose why we are here in this life. Allah Azza wa Jal is saying, وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. So it is the main purpose why we are there. And that's why in that constitution, in this ayah, Allah started with this when He said, قُلْ إِنَّ صَلَاتِي وَنُسُكِي وَمَحْيَايَ وَمَمَاتِي. All my life, all what I will do and what I will say and what I will act in this dunya, in this life, وَمَمَاتِي, and when I die, لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. All of this in the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. All of your life is in the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. What you are doing and what you are saying in the dunya, in your life, should be fi sabilillahi Azza wa Jal, in the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, pleasing Allah Azza wa Jal. If anything you're gonna do in this dunya is not in that direction, stop it right away. Why? Because this is what Allah Azza wa Jal wants from us. He wants us to please Him Jalla wa Ala, to breathe love of Allah Azza wa Jal, to say what will please Allah Azza wa Jal, to act what will please Allah Azza wa Jal. محياي لله رب العالمين ومماتي لله رب العالمين. Subhanallah Azza wa Jal. Even in the last moments in this dunya, if your death and your maut, you are not leaving this dunya fi sabilillahi Azza wa Jal, you are going to be in a very risk position. And that's why the hadith of Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, من كان آخر كلامه من هذه الدنيا لا إله إلا الله دخل الجنة. Those who will have the last words in the dunya, in the moment of death, Tawheed, be witnessing that there is no God but Allah Azza wa Jal. Their death and their maut is fi sabilillahi Azza wa Jal. Subhanallah Azza wa Jal. Couple of days ago, we just heard the news of the passed away of the death of our Imam, our beloved Imam Suhaib Sultan. May Allah Azza wa grant him the higher level of Jannah. Allahumma ameen. A role example for us to show us how to live fi sabilillahi Azza wa Jal. May Allah Azza wa Jal make us among those who will live fi sabilillahi Azza wa Jal, who will say whatever will please Allah Azza wa Jal, who will act based to Allah Azza wa Jal permissions and words will please Allah Azza wa Jal. Put it, my dear brothers and sisters, a slogan in your life. Put it the scale where you will measure all of your actings and all of your sayings. If it is not fi sabilillahi Azza wa Jal, and if it is not lillahi Azza wa Jal, stop it right away. قل إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين لا شريك له وبذلك أمرت. There is no God but Allah Azza wa Jal. La ilaha illallah. And that's why in the other hadith of Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he said, أفضل الذكر لا إله إلا الله والحمد لله تملأ الميزان. All of those kind of words Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam giving it to us. Why? Because those are pleasing Allah Azza wa Jal. My dear brothers and sisters, it is a good time to stop all of our bad habits, all of the diseases of the tongues, all of whatever we do before Ramadan and in our normal life. Now we have to say from nowadays, inshallah Azza wa Jal, all of our acting and all of our words and all of our sayings will be pleasing Allah Azza wa Jal. اللهم أعنا على أنفسنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم حسن أخلاقنا. O Allah Azza wa Jal, beautify our manners and our akhlaq. O Allah Azza wa Jal, make us among those who are watching their tongues and their sayings. O Allah, make us among those who will live في سبيل الله in the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal, pleasing you Ya Rabb, and they will die in this dunya pleasing you Ya Rabb al-Alameen, and you will be pleased upon them in the day of judgment. اللهم آمين. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم. So we ended Surah Al-An'am with this beautiful ayah, which Allah Azza wa Jal show us our constitution of this life. And then Allah Azza wa Jal started Surah Al-A'raf. Surah Al-A'raf, inshallah Azza wa Jal, in detail, we're going to talk about it tomorrow. But today, I will stop by another very beautiful ayah in the early beginning of the surah on the first page. This ayah is telling us why it is important to watch all what we do in this dunya. Allah Azza wa Jalla in the beginning of the surah is saying that He will ask the people and He will ask the mursaleen, the prophets. If the prophets, the best among us, will be held accountable in front of Allah Azza wa Jalla, وَلَنَسْأَلَنَّ الْمُرْسَلِينَ. Allah Azza wa Jalla said that indeed those prophets, the best of the humans, they will be in front of Allah Azza wa Jalla and they will be asked from Allah Azza wa Jal. And they are the ones who acted and they said in this dunya the best. Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and Prophet Isa alayhi salam, and Prophet Nuh, all of those beautiful prophets, and we know the stories, how they hold the deen of Allah Azza wa Jal up in those hard moments. But in the end, they will be asked in front of Allah Azza wa Jal about every single thing they did in dunya. What about us? What about what we are saying every day? What about what we act and what we do every single day? My dear brothers and sisters, subhanallah, Rasulullah sallallahu when he get asked about will we enter Jannah, ya Allah, ya Rasulullah, with our deeds and our actions we did in dunya, he said no. It is all about the blessing and the mercy of Allah Azza wa Jal. They asked him, ya Rasulullah, حتى أنت يا رسول الله. He said, حتى أنا, even myself, إلا أن يتغمدني الله برحمته. So, my dear brothers and sisters, those prophets, they will be asked in front of Allah Azza wa Jal, and they showed us that they will be worried about that moment of hisab. And we, the weak humans, the weak slaves of Allah Azza wa Jal, who are sinning every single hour, every single day, we have to be very, very mindful about those. And we have to be watching our intention, our actions, and our sayings, so that in the day of judgment, when we stand in front of Allah Azza wa Jal, we will be among those who, yes, they acted in the way Allah wanted. Whenever they get a sin, they erase it right away with a good deed. إِنَّ الْحَسَنَاتِ يُذْهِبْنَ السَّيِّئَاتِ. Those people who will be successful in the day of judgment. Allah Azza wa Jalla in Surah Al-Haqqa, He talked about those who got their records with the right hand, the successful people. That the first thing they said, إِنِّي ظَنَنْتُ أَنِّي مُلَاقٍ حِسَابِيَ. I lived in this dunya with a sure, and I was very sure, with a very strong belief that I will meet Allah Azza wa Jal and He will hold me accountable. And that's why I acted based with that belief, and that's why I watched all what I am doing, and that's why He is successful. May Allah Azza wa Jal make us among those who are gonna get an easy hisab, those who will get an easy judgment in front of Allah Azza wa Jal, those who will be safe and secure in the day of judgment, those who will get their records with the right hand. And inshallah Azza wa Jal, tomorrow we're going to talk inshallah in detail about Surah Al-A'raf and the story of those people in the mountain of A'raf. May Allah Azza wa Jal make us among the people of Ahl al-Jannah. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم وجزاكم الله خيرا.